Thank you. Call to order the regular meeting of the City of Stanton. Stanton City Hall, May the 9th, 2024 at 6:30 p.m. First item is the approval of our April 11th, 2024 regular meeting minutes. Do I have a motion for that? Okay. And a second? Okay. All in favor? Any opposed? And then the approval of our April 25th, 2024 special meeting minutes. Do I have a motion for that? Okay. And a second? Okay. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried. This time we'll turn to public comments. Anyone here wishing to say?
Ron, do you have any public comments tonight?
Yeah, sewer up.
He said that, bud. He said
The sewer up East College Avenue, when it fills up, it comes up in every place up through there. So it needs to be trying to get attention to it.
Where was it at? Where at, Ron?
East College Avenue, especially 39 where we're at. 139 East College Avenue.
No, that's not 26. No, he's talking about the.
You talking about the curve?
Next plumbing, yeah,
What?
next to the.
You talking about the curve, for the curve?
No. Side of Billy Drugstore.
Oh, you're talking
Big
about
building there.
this way, okay, I thought you were talking for the.
You got back water valves already in them. In the drugstore and the building.
Are you talking about both sides or just one side?
Well, the one that I've got, that sold to Janelle is apartment building.
Yeah, you
Back
talking about
water
the
valve,
creek, you talking about the creek in the back of that?
Yeah, when you get upstairs, plus the commode,
Mhm.
comes out downstairs. There's got a back water valve in
So it's the sewer itself.
it. Rich will tell you all about it.
Yeah, because the mayor don't know nothing about that.
And that's kind of why, Mayor, I wanted to have a meeting the other day, and so he was asking just for Richard to get involved, and because there's some issues going on with the sewer of going down through there as well. So he has done this kind of work for how many years?
Oh, a bunch of years. But anyway, I'm leaving, so it'll all be up to you.
I know, but he is, I know, so he is just wanting to make sure that,
We're aware.
yes.
So have you talked to Richard?
No.
Oh, okay.
I went to
we'll
you
have
first. I told
Okay.
him to come here next.
Been around for 20 years, so ain't no
Okay,
deal.
got it.
So he went, so I thought maybe with his public comments, I told him to bring it to the city of kind of what he's talking about, and then we could get with Richard and check on, because he was talking about funding, and did we get some funding from Andy Barr's office with concerning the sewer? I was thinking we got some kind of
No,
funding for
that's,
something,
that's for water.
just the water, okay, okay.
Now, we got sewer, but it's over on Erica, when they do the sewer lines.
I knew we got something for
So we'd
sewer.
have to fill out a grant, depending on what the issue is.
Money.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks. Anyone else? Public comments? Okay.
I'd like to make a public comment. My name is Jason Vaughn. I'm the Ag and Natural Resource Agent down here with the Cooperative Extension Office. Just kind of wanted to come up and speak for several of my clientele that I serve here in the county, and it concerns the new livestock ban in the city. You know, from everybody I've talked to, we can all agree that we don't need cattle or tigers or lions or any of that in the city. But the backyard poultry puts a lot of people in a bad spot. You know, I think, I know that we, as far as the university knows, we join only Paducah as the only two cities in the state that ban backyard livestock. It puts our 4-H department in an especially kind of difficult spot. We had 10 kids over there earlier tonight for the 4-H Poultry Club who come in, learn about birds, learn how to handle birds, learn how to take care of them, medicines, all that sort of thing. We also have quite a few people in this community that live kind of below the poverty line. It's a very good source of good, clean protein. I think that any of the concerns that we might have, we can kind of all work together to find a common ground there that would, achieve your all's goals for the city, and then also allow some people to have some backyard birds. So just wanted to voice my concern about it and let you know that I would really welcome the opportunity to sit down with each one of you individually, kind of go through some of those concerns you have about those backyard birds, and see if we can't draft some kind of ordinance that would address your concerns and still allow some of our citizens to keep their backyard birds that they love and that they depend on too. So just wanted to voice my concern. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason. Anyone else?
Do you want to speak for me since I'm...
No, you go right ahead.
Thank you.
You're fine. Go for it.
She's nervous.
Don't be nervous, it's just us.
Just common people.
They're just good friends. That's all they are. So just stand up there and show them what you got.
My name is Lindsay, and I live on Pearl Street, and I'm here to advocate for my children. We just got a notice that if we don't comply with removing our backyard flock within 10 days, we will incur a fine of $550 for every day they remain on our property. We are preparing our children to be blue ribbon winners at State Fair. This is devastating. Please I ask of you to either create a permit that Chris Cheney can go and we can generate income, or an ordinance that reflects Mount Sterling City ordinance. It says we need to have them contained. Mine are contained. I have neighbors here this evening to also advocate that my backyard flock is a community benefit. But I'm here to speak on behalf of the other parents and the children that can't be here tonight, because I really ask that this city please change this ordinance.
Okay, thank you, Lindsay.
I'll tell you one thing. This woman's lived by me, next to me, for over a year. I didn't know she had chickens till the other day. She come and told me that she got this. Did she know she had chickens? See? I never knew.
Am I allowed to say anything? Since I didn't sign in.
No, we don't have
We don't.
to sign in.
You know, one of the things that they came to the office and they were talking about that really concerns me is they're foster parents. And one of the ways that they kind of subsidize their income and stuff as far as trying to feed their foster kids and stuff like that is, the use of the eggs and stuff like that. Everything's pinned up, right? They're not running a large or anything like that. They're pinned up and I guess my question is why did that ordinance come out? I hate to say it, but it sounds like it's a stupid ordinance,
It was before my time. so.
Yeah, I'm not for it because I'm all about our animals. So I abstain from it.
Is there any way that you can amend that ordinance or do away with the ordinance and readopt another one?
We had discussed it a few months ago, and I proposed an amendment, and there was discussion among city council at the time. We can revisit that, but ultimately it's up to you all to.
The issue is not everybody will follow it. And you have people that don't take care of them, and there is odor and there is noise, and
Well,
that's the
I
problem.
think it's something that you can place in the ordinance that is
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
if you don't meet certain specifications, then you lose your right to have.
Like so many feet from somebody
Yeah.
else's house.
Yeah.
No roosters in town.
No roosters is a big one that a lot of, that a very common one.
Yeah.
Most of the city has, and I'm an agricultural
All of
advocate.
that from the city. And I'm also the PTA vice president, and I work so hard with Stanton Elementary School. If I have to now take time to drive to Costco to buy eggs, I don't have that same time to work and do all that procurement for our auction that we just had.
I'm an agricultural advocate, and I'm gonna be very honest with you, I don't know how we would want to be a different city when it comes to practically about 99% of the cities in this state don't have this type ordinance. They understand. There's cities across this country that allow free range chickens in larger cities, not even small cities. Head to Key West, they're running around by the hundreds, you know, and they're not an issue. I just, you know, if we start attacking small agricultural based entities, we stand an opportunity to lose a lot of potential growth in this community when it comes to the ag community. Whether it's small cattle farmers, whether it's small livestock, other small livestock groups, or just the ham programs that you see in 4-H and FFA. I really would strongly advocate that you all take a look at that ordinance and either rescind it and maybe re-adopt one, even if it's a minimal $10 fee that you've got to pay to have the chickens inside the city, whatever it might be. But there should be something that you might want to consider rescinding that, because I just don't think that's in today's world. You look in Louisville where they're having all the plant-based stuff. You got people having gardens on their actual balconies in apartment complexes. Even cities like Louisville and Lexington are adopting those type of agricultural-based ordinances that allow that to happen. You know, and the more the dollar gets squeezed, the more I think we need to be concerned about that. And I just don't see how Stanton would think that ordinance, for whatever reason, was put in place. And I'm sure that the council many moons ago that put that ordinance in place probably had a legitimate reason. But I think it would be worth looking at and maybe
It's new,
rescinding.
isn't it?
Well,
The ordinance is new, right?
No, it's not.
Yeah, I think now that we have Chris to check on it and to go check on things and to make sure people are following rules, you know, that is a big help, because he is very good at his job, and he is very good. Like, he sent you a letter, so he knew they were there, you know, I mean, a lot of times people complain. So that's why we had to get rid, somebody had a goat out back a while back, and we had to say, you can't have the goat out back because it's stinking and your neighbors have complained. And I was like, no.
What's the impact on value of properties adjoining?
I'm sorry, say that again?
What's the impact of value of properties that are adjoining any properties that have any kind of foul
My next door
livestock?
neighbor.
Do you know the impact of that?
No,
See, I think we need to do a little bit of looking into those kind of things, because not that we're not for or against it, we have to be neutral in our position to weigh all options, which yours is a good option. But I also want to know, as a council member, is it intruding on neighbors? You're shaking your head no, and I understand that. But the first neighbor that came in would say, I can't sell my house because they got 45 chickens or 3 goats and 2 pigs. And I'm just being hypothetical, but I want you to understand there's both sides to the issue. And when we look at that, and we have been discussing this, and it's a tough thing. It's a tough thing to tell people they can't do this or that. So I would be in favor of doing more research, getting what the other 99% of the places are doing with their, not just that, but some other ones, and try to incorporate it into ours that makes it fair, not just for you all, anybody that wants to own livestock, but makes it fair for owners that are concerned about noise, smell, property value, and those kind of things. Those things have to be looked at before we just say, yes, we're going to do this, or no, we're going to do it. I'm just saying that so you understand there is a process that has to be had before we can move on. You understand that part of it?
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Now, she has been fined and told that she has so many days to move her chickens.
No.
Can she have a lien on that until this is settled?
No fine has been imposed.
Okay.
It's part of the process. If that is a tool that we have, if someone doesn't comply with an ordinance, the fine is a possibility. It's not an assurity.
Okay.
So at this point, they've just been delivered.
I would think there would be like a stay on what's
Okay.
going on with you also until we have time to. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, and Ms. Butler did contact me and asked for more time, and I said at the time that they had 30 days from the time they were noticed. We can obviously extend more time if we're in discussion and trying to come to a resolution. So that's not a problem, but that's kind of up to you all as well.
But I hope you understand, I want to be fair to you 100%, but I also want to be fair to everyone else. And we don't have anybody speaking on behalf of of the other reasons that have came up in the past. We have had people come in and complain about those things that I just discussed with you, so we're trying to balance
And
that.
you all are, like, your house is really neat. I've been by there. I didn't know you had chickens back there.
I had no idea.
It's very neat and clean, but if yours is a, you know,
Except- is
it's
yours
an exception
one
to
and
most people who are gonna have
There's some
chickens in
people
their
that
yard
got chickens,
too.
and you
And I love,
know they got
I love wild animals and livestock.
When was this ordinance put into effect?
It's been years ago.
Well, the most current is new, but there was reportedly an older one, which I've not been able to find, but it,
I think the original one maybe went in the 70s, didn't it?
Yeah, and it was pretty
And
far
the
back.
most recent one was what, 2020, something like that?
yeah, 2019.
We've been trying to streamline that to 2024, so it's a
Probably
process.
know where the 2020 came in, because the neighbors that lived there before Maritime and then moved in, had ducks that went wild. And the whole neighborhood complained about the ducks, because they were
A mess.
registering everywhere.
Yeah. See, that's the thing, you know.
That's the land use.
So, you know, that's probably where the 2020 come in, but those people have moved.
Well, then we had the pigeons up at, next to Hardee's.
Oh,
There is some genesis to this.
Yeah.
This ordinance was put into effect in 22, so this is not an archaic
That's
ordinance.
That's a revised.
It's just a revised revision in 2022.
I will say
I think the original ordinances, like the zoning and all that, was in the 90s, wasn't it?
the zoning ordinance was in 92, but I don't think,
Yeah.
it does not speak to animals at
Yeah, I
all.
don't know about animals, but.
Could I make a suggestion and just give this lady a stay, a 45-day stay, till you all can put this on next month's agenda and revisit this ordinance, and have your attorney revisit this ordinance and say,
30 days. didn't
Well,
well, but I mean, if the council does it, this is not him doing it, this is the council doing it, so that it actually has bearing, so that she doesn't have to worry about it. She knows she's got 45 days until a new ordinance can be brought up on your agenda, and not, this is not an agenda item, it's a public comment item.
I
You ought to bring it up.
didn't want to put a timeline on it, I just want to do a stay for her until we resolve the
Until it's
issue, regardless of what the
I will say, we did have the gentleman with the goat.
But keep in mind that next month you'll probably have anti-chicken people show up at your meeting just as
Yes,
fired
you will
up
have.
against the chickens as you have pro-chicken people. Because the only reason that this became a hot topic, if you will remember, was that the city had a number of complaints about chickens. And at that point, the most important thing it seemed like the city council could do was to get the chicken situation under control. Fast forward 6 months down the road, and it's a different thing. But just as strenuous as some people are pro-chicken, you will have people in the city that are as anti.
If you all had
It's a
been
balancing
here
act.
when they were advocating for how bad it was, if you had been here arguing the other side or debating the other point, would have been nice when we were looking at these things. So we can get that balance, and that's what we need to hear from both sides.
Jason represents University of Kentucky. He really is, if you have any questions, that's why he came tonight. So please use this
He's a
opportunity.
great resource.
Can you put a little subcommittee together and research it? Pros and cons?
I will say,
Board of Adjustment does that.
for any amended ordinance or new ordinance, there would be 2 readings, and therefore more opportunity to discuss. And what I'd suggested before, that we could also, we need to do this anyway in kind of a broad sense, but we could look at our nuisance ordinance and use the nuisance ordinance to maybe address some of the concerns, for like smell and that kind of
It
thing.
covers a lot of it.
Chris, if you couldn't tell that she had chickens from the road or anything, did you get a complaint on them, or did you just know?
I got it, well, the mayor.
Somebody let me know. K2.
You're not afraid.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
So thank you for bringing that to us. It's outdated, it does need to be addressed. I'm sorry that it's an issue and causing you a lot of stress right now, I really apologize for that. It's not intended, we just have to try to stay in that way. So just hang in there with us, okay? He said it best, we're just kind of regular people.
Ruth, did you have something? I heard you talking, I didn't know what you was.
I said the Board of Adjustment has discussed this issue among ourselves, and we talked about the possibility of doing some kind of a change to it. And I was just asking Chris if we could go back to that and continue on with what we were doing. We probably have to have some kind of limits here and there, and there's proper ways to take care of animals that you do not have the smell and all of that kind of stuff. And apparently that's what you're doing very well, because nobody knew you had them. So I think there should be a way to resolve this.
There's a lot of things that you can do as far as a limit on how many chickens you have, and no
Exactly.
roosters and this and
Well,
that.
and I've talked to you about this about my daughter's house.
Yep.
Chickens running around in the yard that are not hers.
Yeah.
And
And on
they
the carport.
make a mess on the carport. So there's a lot of other sides to this issue and people that are not happy with it. So it'd have to be about containment. Is there proper structures that have to be built? Or I have no idea about any of that or what you're talking about. So that's going to have to be brought to Chris and a draft proposal brought to us. And he's right. Once we decide we get the green light, it's going to take 2 readings. So you're minimum 60 days.
So I know that Stephen Tuggle in Mount Sterling, and I spoke with him, and he discussed the reason, the genesis of why they have their ordinances in place. And I asked for permission, and he said it's not plagiarism if we just use what they've already written.
Well, we
So-
cut and paste.
The draft that I came up with before, I stole
Yeah,
from somewhere else.
So
Yeah, that's pretty common in planning and zoning. You just rob, borrow, steal from all the different planning and zoning
So the
offices.
timeline is, did we all decide 60 days then?
I don't think we need a
No,
timeline.
we just said-
I don't think you need to put it, I think that you
We'll
just.
just go ahead and get this resolved.
For consistency, when we had the issue with the goat, we told them we would discuss and we kind of put it out until we had come to some, you all had come to some conclusion. And so
Well,
it
with it
wasn't.
being an ordinance, do I need to make a motion to override that to do a stay, yea or nay, to just hold him off?
I think
In case, I'm trying to be fair to everybody else.
Can do so.
I think we could do, I could come up with a draft and then could we do the draft as like a first reading and then a second reading? Is that how we do it, Scott?
Yeah.
It would be, provided that that's what you all want to do.
Yeah, after we're done, yes.
So what you need to put into the new ordinance is that it has to have a certain measurement of a coop.
Well,
We don't know
We
yet.
don't know, we're gonna have to, we have to look.
It's so far away
Yeah.
from your,
I think
your
that-
yard and.
We have to look at everything.
I think the ideal situation would be to have your zoning enforcement officer go with your board of adjustments, work with them on that ordinance, and then present it to the council, and then you all make that
Yeah,
decision.
that's-
Rather than council get involved
That's what we're
with,
doing.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna.
let it go to the board of adjustments and let them bring and say, here's what we propose, and then let you all vote on it as a
And they're
council.
already talking about it. so.
Yes.
We're working on a lot of updates. so.
Okay.
Yes.
Anything
We're doing
else?
that
I'm
now.
kind of hoping the county will follow suit in the same
The
county.
county, thanks guys.
Oh, heck, no, I ain't getting
Oh, you brought yourself in here.
I just got one word for you. Chicken. Sorry. Hey, every once in a while I get one in.
I like that.
Sorry, Mitchell.
Anybody else public comments?
All right, I have one. I don't know whether anybody got to go to the Derby Days, but it was a very, very, very successful event. It took 5 days to put it on. We had 2 tourism commissioners that went and put that whole thing on with the detention center people. We had, I don't know exactly who all, I don't want to forget anybody, but we had 2 city council members that came, which was myself and Tara, and nobody else showed up to help. They went, I mean, it was absolutely, if you go in there and look at all the things that they did in 5 days. They showed up Friday morning at 7 o'clock. I mean, Joy got there at 6:30, and then Sasha Bobik got there at 7. And they put that whole event on by themselves with the help of, very few, few people. Out of the 5 commissioners that Sasha and Joey was the only 2 that showed up with the detention people, folks. Lacey was awesome to let the people come out and help them. Who else was it that come out there and helped? Do you remember? Can you recall real quick?
Daniel.
Yeah, Daniel, Parks and Rec. And I mean, it turned out absolutely great. They had the animals out there. They had the bouncy houses. Brandon Farmer with the Patriot newspaper. I mean, it was just absolutely, just everybody had a wonderful time. I've heard nothing but good comments on Facebook. If you'll see it on there, everybody just had a great time. They've got another event coming up, and they'll start rolling into town on June the 13th, and it is Back Roads Appalachia, and it's the drift cars, and they'll be rolling in here on June the 13th, and it actually will start here at the drive-in on June the 14th, and then they'll be rolling out on the 15th and be going to the gorge, and they're going to be doing that drift car all through the gorge on the 15th, and it will absolutely be a sight to see. And they have the cruise-in cars coming to the drive-in every second.
That's tomorrow night.
Yeah, it starts tomorrow night, and it's every second week they'll be up there. So they've got the tourism. It's absolutely just bombing. I mean, they went a whole year with the other people that was on there. The last team didn't do nothing for 7 months. Did not do one event, and they have brought these people in here, and they're just bombing their businesses and bringing in people, and it's just really great what they've done. And if y'all see any tourism members, if y'all actually see Sasha and Joey out, actually give them a big hand and thank them for what they're doing, because they're really working hard. And the detention center folks, they really worked hard. You see them out working, stop and give them a pop or something, you know, and just thank them.
Can I ask one question? What is a drift car?
Tokyo.
I'm old.
Drift Tokyo, have you seen Drift Tokyo?
You don't watch
Fast and Furious?
Okay, I'm with you.
That's what it is.
That's what you need to be in.
Yeah.
There'll be Lamborghinis and Ferraris and all these cars. They're gonna go through the.
This organization just got $1 million,
all that.
they just got $1 million grant, not grant, they got $1 million funding package from the state legislature to take this across the state. So if we engulf it a little early, we might be on the cusp of something that might be really, really big going forward.
Right.
Yeah, Eric Hubbard, the guy that handles it, is the real deal. He's to get $1 million from our House legislature, that's more money than we got in Powell County.
Yeah. We're stage 4. They just got out of stage 3, and it was in West Virginia.
Yeah.
Buckley, West Virginia. They're just leaving from there.
Yeah.
And we are stage 4, and it's for Powell County. So I really look forward to
So they're gonna have them all parked at the
at the
drive-in?
drive-in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's June the 14th.
I had to tell my brother.
Yeah, they'll be rolling in here June the 13th, and then they'll be up there actually open for the public June the 14th.
And they're gonna be enslaved too.
Yeah, they're gonna be slated for the 15th for the actual Driftwood Drive.
So you
If you
can
love the
either
kind of
get
cars.
for
So if
Friday
you
or
all see
Saturday.
Sasha and Joey, y'all be sure to tell them what a good job they've done bringing this stuff
Okay.
to Powell County.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, go on next to items, the mayor's report. Just got off the phone with Paul Nesbitt, so bring you up to date on some projects that we're looking at getting started here, hopefully in the fall. The one is the airport sewer project phase 1. Basically, right now, we're just waiting on the state to say, go ahead, give us a permit. That takes about 2 months, hopefully. So we're at least we're in line. That's the best thing I can say. We may be 50, but we're in line right now. So hopefully 2 months we'll get that. This Paint Creek Water Tower project, again, that was being submitted tomorrow to the Division of Water. That also takes 2 months to get that permit. We have to acquire some property over there, and so that all of this may kind of fall together in the fall. And then the Elkin Street sidewalk, we're waiting for state easement approval. So all of it are 3 of these projects. And then we're doing but the one that's a blessing, if you've noticed, if you come out at night, which some of you do, the lights are done. Thankful to John Coops. And Teresa. And Teresa. Yeah, she was out there. And our guys from the Waterworks maintenance team, they were out there helping too. So it's great to see it. And it's really nice going in and out as we go through. Okay. All right, we got number 6 is, we've got 6 and 7, which I think Chris, you'll handle that a little bit. And that's a reversion of zoning for 48 and 62 Court Street from B2 to R1. That's Howard Stone and Karen Martin. And then number 7 is reversion of zoning for 38 Court Street, B2 to R1, Ruth Jones, the applicant. So we'll take number 6 first, Chris.
Okay. These are related. They're all contiguous properties, but they were two different. Originally, they were two different zone change requests. The property was originally zoned R1 for all of it. At some point, a previous owner rezoned it to commercial business, and then the current use of with current owners is residential. And the requests were basically to revert the zoning back to the original zoning. And there was a reason we couldn't just do a normal zone change request, because they're lots of record. They're legal lots, but they're too small for the minimum lot size for any of our residential zone districts. So they couldn't just request to change to a different. It had to go back to the original. But I researched all that and figured out that that's the way we could accomplish what the owners wanted to do. So basically, this request is just to take I think the previous zone changes to commercial were around 2016-ish, 2014 maybe, because it was at two different times. And this is just going to take these 3 properties back to their original residential zoning.
And that's boo.
Right here,
Court Street right here.
Right next to us, next door. We could open the door and look at them.
Any other questions? Okay, have a motion on, we'll tell it.
You have a question?
No, I'm gonna make a motion.
Okay, we'll do the.
Well, I have a question.
Oh, okay.
I have a question. So this was where, Howard, you're back there, right? This is where you had your law office.
No.
Oh.
Maple Street.
This is right here, behind Joey.
Oh, okay.
There's a trailer and then
The trailer's gone.
It left today.
Yeah.
The trailer left today.
Behind Joy and Joy Yellen's place.
Yeah,
Oh, they're right on
Yeah,
this
right
street.
here.
Okay,
Yeah.
I thought this was where, because you just redid that into a house.
Yeah, but it was residential, I said a variance for the law office.
Oh, okay.
So but it's been rented out for the last 2 years, so I assume that's kind of already gone anyway.
Okay. All right, I just didn't know. I was like, where? Okay.
No, I can see where that'd be confusing.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute.
Like to do stuff.
Because switching things back and forth from residential to business, because business, when it's business, the property's worth more. Like when it's zoned business.
You did get it sold to a business.
Yeah.
But when it's sold as a residential.
Right. So, I just didn't know how it was flipping it back and forth and how, but that's what y'all
It
want
costs
to
money
do.
to change
That's what
that.
y'all want to do. That's what y'all want to do.
Okay, if I get a motion on the first one?
It's Mark.
That's what y'all want to do.
All in favor? Okay, any opposed? Okay, motion carried. Now I get a motion also on the second one?
Mark.
Okay, and a second. Third, all in favor?
That's what y'all want to do.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Well, that's chicken and anything you want to do. That's it carries the weight tonight. All right, number 8 is the adoption of the 2024 Stanton Comprehensive Plan. Every one of you did receive a copy of that, and you got one prior to. Any questions, any comments on that? Chris is here. So
Any updates or changes?
it's only a couple pages.
Nothing's changed since you got your draft copy. We were happy with it. We had the planning commission last summer created an update committee, which was basically the Board of Adjustment. And so we've been working, and myself, we've been working on a lot of updates. We started with the comprehensive plan because that's the first step. We've also worked on the zoning ordinance, which the planning commission should look at a draft next week, but we're going to have to make some changes, obviously. So that'll be coming pretty soon, an updated zoning ordinance. But we've worked on this for, I don't know, I think we started maybe August, September, like really getting into it and working on it. And we've worked on the data aspects of it, the housing numbers, the job numbers, the census data, all that kind of thing. And then we worked on the goals and objectives, and we had already presented that to you all for adoption of the updated goals and objectives. And then after that, the last thing we had was the implementation chapter, which is the very end, which is kind of the toolbox of the the plan that we would use to actually, you know, when we're doing zone changes and things like that, to look at those things and see how it all conforms with the plan and how it kind of should direct how the city, how we want to see the city develop over time. And actually, I wanted to lead off before I even started with this. A group of us went today to Maysville for a Kentucky League of Cities training. It's the HB 55. Anybody that's on a planning commission, board of adjustment, or planning staff like myself is required to do so many hours of that training. And I would highly recommend that any or all of you that are interested go to that at some point. You don't have to do it every year. You're not required to like they are. But it was very informative, and there were also a lot of other council members from other cities, fiscal court members, and it was Ruth can tell you, it was a lot of good information.
Amazing.
We learned a lot. But like where Planning Commission had recommended to you on the zone change, if when you get into that kind of thing, the ones that you've seen come through the last year have been pretty basic and straightforward. Sometimes they're not. Sometimes they get a lot more complicated. And they actually talked a lot about like cases where Planning Commission had recommended approval and City Council had denied it, and vice versa, and things like that, and all the issues that you get into with that. So I say all that to say, if it's something that any of you are interested in, the next time the opportunity comes around, you know, I can forward that information on and help you find out more about it if it's something you'd be interested in. But it's a lot of informative stuff about planning and that kind of stuff in general. They talk about ethics and the legal aspects of it and things like that. So anyway, sorry.
And Eric went with you too?
Yeah, Eric,
Yes.
basically,
Yes,
well, there
It's
were
good.
7 of us total.
Yeah.
that went. So,
It was money well spent to send us there. The more we learn, the better we can serve our whole community.
I heard anything that Kentucky League of Cities does. There's
Yeah.
no informative.
yeah, it was really good. The 2 guys that do it, they do pretty much all of them. They're excellent.
Yeah.
Okay, any questions on the comprehensive plan? Anybody?
I like it.
Okay, we have a motion to adopt the 2024 Stanton Comprehensive Plan. Okay, there's a motion. Second. Okay, all in favor? Okay, any opposed? All right, motion carried.
Thank you.
The next item that is the health insurance renewal. I think everybody received that, copy of that? Okay. Basically, a little bit of an increase there, 5.81%, which is not a surprise in this day and age. So do I have a motion to accept the new health insurance renewal policy? Okay. And a second? Okay. And all in favor? Okay. Any opposed? All right, motion carried. Then we have renewed 3 loans at Whitaker Bank, and we have to take each of these separate. There's one, I guess, number 458939263. It sounds like a number you find somewhere else. Anyway, if I can have a motion to accept that one, it's $16,968. Okay, have a second? All in favor? Any opposed? All right, motion carried. Then 46589392237, $19,139. Have a motion on that one? All right, and a second? Okay. All in favor? Any opposed? All right, motion carried. And then the 46589392238, $285,904. Has to do with Splash Park. Have a motion on that? Okay, and a second? Okay. All in favor? All right, any opposed? All right, motion carried. Next item is Park Board recommendations, and again, there are 2 of them. This comes
Do we have 2
from,
spots?
2 spots, that are being filled. We'll take each of those separate also. First one is David Markham. Any questions about that? Okay, all right, no motion? All right, and a second? Okay, all in favor? All right, any opposed? Motion carried. Then Audrey Brooks. Okay, motion on that. Second, all right. All in favor? All right, motion carried. Any opposed? Motion carried.
Tommy, everything okay with Tommy?
Yeah, he has.
Move the closed session to the end.
Probably good idea.
Okay. Next item is a July the 4th, which falls on a Thursday. And our staff would like to move it to Friday, so they get Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off.
I make a motion.
Second.
I'll second.
All in favor? Any opposed?
Mark, everybody.
Give her a-
Teresa put that on here, didn't she?
I didn't ask about the county.
I guess too.
I knew it.
Thursday and Friday.
Yeah, we
give them money too.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
3 days.
Oh, my goodness.
Y'all call Squatty and tell him on Thursday and Friday?
Could've gotten
Willie, will you call Squatty and tell him I'm on Thursday?
I don't know about that one. I'm really not a slave driver. I'm not. I like as much time off as they do. Except my time off is not time off. I always get calls somewhere along the way. Okay, the next one is the second reading of the 24-25
This is the
budget.
second reading?
Yes, I think we've had the first.
We had the first reading before.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had the first.
Okay.
But then we had the workshop thing too.
Yeah.
Right, that's good.
That was
Yeah.
the first.
Okay.
Everybody's got made copies of it?
One.
The budget.
You don't have
24.
to do a second.
No, you don't have
we
to.
do it, Bob.
We have to
We
do
still
it.
have time if we want to make adjustments.
Yeah.
I don't think we should do the second reading tonight. I mean,
Should
should
we
we
wait
do it
until
tonight?
Tommy's here?
We have
I
to
think
finish
we should
it.
wait time.
Yeah, I think.
We can do it as children.
Yeah.
Okay, let's wait. I would
Yeah.
table
Table
that.
that.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to table it.
I'll second
Okay,
that.
second.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm all in favor.
All in favor? All right. Any opposed? Oh, no, any vote? No, just joking. Motion carries. You better watch it over there, buddy. We are friends, huh? Okay, the review of the April year-to-date budget. You also have a copy of that. Goes July 23 through April 24, 10 months. Hard to believe we're in 11th month already, moving right along.
Yeah.
Okay, you have a motion for that? Motion to accept that, second. All right, all in favor? Any opposed? All right, motion carried. And then we have one item that did not make it on, but before we go into some closed sessions, just got this today, our municipal road aid cooperative program agreement. We have to have a resolution on that from the city council. They are looking to increase it to us, so that's a good thing. That's great. It's our resolution, municipal aid. We do it every year.
They had cut it quite a bit.
Yeah, we're looking
Last
at
year,
over 70,000 for next year.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, 70,978. It's great. We'll take it. We might have a few streets so we can get to these. All right, down a motion on that, please. And a second.
Should we motion that? We got streets, we got streets.
You guys are gonna be in the list. If I told you how many people have told me about streets and ditches and
I
culverts.
want to thank you for somebody, whoever filled the hole
First off, how many city streets do we
for
have
the
in
high
Stanton?
school.
About 13
That was
miles.
a good one, thank you for
Okay,
that.
we have 13 miles of city streets. Majority of our streets are,
No, that's just our streets.
I know,
12 miles are the state.
okay, so a lot of them are not even our streets. So
Yeah,
be
well-
careful which one you pick and choose.
The state won't fix our streets, no.
No, we did.
We've got that, yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But that curve down there, I really do wish the state would widen that curve a little.
Just go the other way.
Cause I watched, no,
Okay,
I was following one of the trucks in there.
Have a
Somebody
motion.
hit that ditch over there.
And a second. All in favor?
Yeah.
All right. Any opposed? Okay, municipal aid. Hopefully the state will have some money. Okay. We do need to go into closed session. There's actually going to be 3 of them. And this is for the maintenance worker new hire or hires. So I have a motion on that. And a second. All in favor? All right, Any opposed? Okay.
That means you're gonna kick me out?
Well, you can do it, we can do it a couple of ways, but we've done it two ways.
I thought y'all liked me. Well, we've got 3 more things.